So today I did chapter 4 of Ephesians, and basically chapter 5. So this entire chapter is guidelines and even some aspects of marriage. So from 1 goes straight down to 17. Actually 17. They're talking about the sins that we are not supposed to entangle ourselves with. They want us to be children of Christ, followers, to walk in love as God has loved us, and all the uncleanness from fornication and covetousness, filthiness, foolishness, jesting, should not be named among us, right? For He wants us to be giving thanks and speaking in hymns and singing hymns and speaking in psalms and spiritual songs, right? And always giving thanks, right? And again, he comes back here like, don't be a whoremonger, an unclean person, right? Or an idolater, and be careful with people deceiving you with vain words, because he does not want us having God's wrath because of our disobedience, right? Do not even be partakers of people who like to do evil, especially people who like to gossip, people who like to thief, people who like to look down on other people. Like, don't be any part of them, right? So, my dog, I really can't help that one, right? Be light, because we are the children of light, right? We have the fruit of the Spirit, which is righteousness and truth, and we supposed to show what is acceptable because we are saved, right? We're not supposed to have any fellowship with people who does unfruitful works, meaning that, as I say, like gossiping and people who bring down other people. That is not fruitful, right? That is just bringing sorrow and shame, right? And make sure that all things are reproved and made manifest by the light. And whosoever say, awake thou sleepest, and arise from the dead, and the Christ shall give thee light. So even when we die, we don't go straight to heaven. A lot of people say when they die they experience darkness or emptiness. It's because they said that we're supposed to be asleep until Jesus cometh back, right? And walk circumspectly, not as fools but wise, right? And be not unwise but understanding what God's will for your life is, because you don't want to be living your entire life and be caught up in the things of the world, and when you die you don't hear God says, good and faithful servant, because you didn't do God's will, because you didn't even know what was God's purpose for your life, right? So from here, he's talking about marriage, where wives, submit yourself unto your own husband, not somebody else's one. And the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, because he's supposed to be the protector, he's supposed to be the one who leads, right? Therefore the church is subject to Christ, that the wives be to their own husband. Husband, love your wives, as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, right? And he may sanctify and cleanse and wash waterbound, meaning by baptism, right? That we're supposed to be like the church, wrinkle and spot free, and holy without blemish. That's the kind of lifestyle he wants us for us. And as I say, husband, wives, so they ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. So in other words, he's not supposed to love himself more than his wife, because he that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man had yet hated his own flesh, because remember, when we married, it's like two become one, right? But he's supposed to nourish and cherish, and as a members of a body of flesh and his bones. And for this cause a man should leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. So it always say, like, you could, and also you don't like to live by the in-laws, which I agree. So it's always nice to have your own place and privacy, right? And then again we come back with the mystery concerning Christ. This is a great mystery. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband, meaning respect her husband, right? So I hope that when you all read this, you all just keep in mind of the do's and don'ts. I mean, we are not perfect, we all fall short of the glory of God, and a lot of us, we haven't married yet, so we hope you all keep this in mind, both men and women, and tomorrow we'll finish the last chapter.